What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Economic Events. Today, we'll be reading an article from Yahoo Finance about Redfin. Let's get right into it. The sluggish housing market is weighing on Redfin stock as home sales near, quote, rock bottom. In this article, it is reported that the sluggish housing market is negatively impacting Redfin, a real estate company. The current state of the housing market, characterized by low housing inventory and rising home prices, is causing a slowdown in Redfin's business, leading to a decline in their revenue and market concerns for the real estate industry. As a result of these challenges, Redfin stock experienced a significant decline. Redfin CEO Glenn Kelman addressed the issue, acknowledging the impact of housing market conditions on the company's performance during an analyst call. So, in case you guys have been living under a rock, which would probably be a lot cheaper than living in a house nowadays, what you may not know is that the home prices have been significantly jumping in the last several years. Well, in the last year or so, interest rates have mediocrely risen by it was about 2% is what it was averaging, the mortgage rate earlier in 2022, as compared to now it's I think it's pushing over 7% now. So I see here in my notes right here that the shares of Redfin fell 24% after their earnings. So that's a huge decline right there. And then it's the Seattle-based firm's revenue fell 21% from a year ago. So you're talking about, and if we're in July currently, July of 2023, we're talking about from July of 2022 until July of 2023, their revenue has dropped 21%. That's more than 1/5 of their revenue. Meaning, if they made $100 million in that time span, now they made less than 80 million. That's a huge drop off. Consider that with you personally, if you're making, let's say, 100,000 a year, and then or last year you're making 100,000 a year, and now you're making 79,000 a year. That's a huge drop off. So it's not looking good. And then I also have here for the third quarter, Redfin sees revenue dropping about 13%. So they're suspecting that in the third quarter, which is August, September, and October, or I'm sorry, July, August, and September, which is the third quarter, they're expecting it to drop another 13%. So again, we're talking about if you were making $100,000 in that time frame, now you're going to be making around 87. So another huge drop off. So it's not looking good for them. And then let's see what I got here. And then Redfin data shows that the typical monthly mortgage payment in the U.S. was $2,604 in the 4 weeks that ended in July 30th, a 19% increase from a year ago. So that's a little bit conflicting data. Your revenue has dropped significantly, but the mortgage has gone up by 19%. So it's a little weird how that's going on, but I'll be keeping an eye on this right here and and be very interested to see what happens in the near future. I personally think that we're just in the beginning stages of this. Once unemployment continues to rise up a little bit more, and that we see maybe even more rate hikes. I know that the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell recently raised rates by, I think it was 25 points or 50 points. I think it was 25 points. So it's continuing to go up, and from what I hear from the Fed chairman, that he has no plans of slowing down these rate hikes or even stopping or even cutting rates in the next year or so. So these things, the housing market will continue to be affected negatively, most likely by this, and I think that eventually it's going to trickle into the stock market, because the stock market's kind of delusional right now. For my financial advisors out there that are watching this right now, I do apologize. It's a little delusional out there. You gotta admit it. You know that too. So I'll be curious to see what happens going forward with this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I do read all the comments. I do reply to all the comments. Hopefully you guys like this video and subscribe to see more great.